All right, I am here on time. We're going to give it a couple minutes and let people walk in, let them get set up, let people get into the chat room. Well, can you call this the chat room? The live session? We're going to let some folks get in here. So I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm just going to be standing by. Um, I guess first things first, welcome to each and every one of you. If you're watching this back on the live, on the replay, just know to turn your notification bell on to be notified when I go live, so you don't miss content like this. I think this is what makes Grind Reloaded different from other YouTube channels. It's all about growing with the dealers, like growing together versus me actually telling you all of this information. I want you to grow with me, and I want all of us to collectively work together to increase and enlarge our territory. So we're gonna let some more people get in here. We got a couple folks coming in. Good evening to each and every one of you. Hope you guys are all safe that are tuned in. I know we have a lot going on around the United States with the hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. So if you are affected by that, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully you're not watching this and weathering a hurricane. But we are praying for each and every one of those families affected by the current hurricane. So in a couple more seconds, we're going to jump into the topic talking about buy here, pay here, being destroyed by COVID-19 and auction prices. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. It's going to be an interactive night. I want you guys' content and conversation to, push the conversation further, right? I have some ideas, but I want to hear from you guys as well. As you're coming in, check in, let me know you're here. Also, let me know if you are a current dealer, like right now, or if you are an aspiring dealer, right? Because I want to know who my audience is. All right, Nick Hoffman is in the house. What's going on, Nick? Nick is in the house. Who else we got? All right, so we're going to jump right into it. So you saw the title of the video, buy here, pay here, being destroyed by the auction prices. So how do we combat that? What do we do? Pretty much, in order for buy here, pay here to work, we got to understand what prices work best for buy here, pay here. So buy here, pay here works best when you are able to buy units under $1,000, ideally under $800. If you can get units constantly under $800, you're going to kick behind because there are more people that can qualify for your down payment now than there would be that would need to qualify with $1,000 or $1,500 down, right? And then you got to think about the type of car that you're putting on your lot, because that car is only going to bring so much money, right? It's regardless of how much you paid for it, regardless of how much you want out of it, it's only going to yield a certain amount of money, okay? As far as the down payment, people sensibly are only going to contribute a certain amount. So for a 1999 Toyota Camry, I could actually get by with $600, $700, $800, even $900 down on a Toyota Camry, anywhere from 98 to 2003. Just depending on how the vehicle drove and how it, making sure that all of the systems work, like the AC, all the windows, right? Judging that all of the AC and the windows work like they're supposed to, I could get, like I said, $1,000 to $1,200 down on that vehicle. So we have to understand what prices that you have to go after at the auction for buy here, pay here to work. The issue now is that those prices are no longer a reality, even for cars like that 1998 Toyota Camry. So that's why we're doing this session tonight. If you got questions, go ahead and put them in the comments as you're watching this. I'm going to be looking at that throughout the time of me having this conversation. Let's see here. Tim from Florida says, I'm going to try to buy at IAA tomorrow. Let me put it up on the screen. tomorrow, dealer auctions, making me crazy. Current dealer here in East Coast of Florida. Okay. So Tim is in Florida. All right. Blackheart is a current dealer. Perfect. All right. So getting back to that topic is, what prices work best for buy here, pay here. In the comments, you guys let me know if you are doing buy here, pay here. What is your sweet spot for down payments, right? Because my sweet spot for down payments is anything under $800 at Dealmart Auto Sales in Phoenix City. I can have it going like the same day. Like it will sell like crazy. So understanding your down payment sweet spot is going to help you, get through this hurdle. So again, understanding the price is important. Like that works for buy here, pay here. You really don't know what price works for buy here, pay here until you understand your sweet spot. So the issues that I'm seeing right now at auctions is that the prices are so high that they are going to have to be cashed out, because I don't foresee too many people coming in with down payments in that large amount. Let's give you a scenario. So recently, last Thursday at Auto Nation Auto Auction in Ellenwood, I bought a 2007 Hyundai Sonata with 209,000 miles, somewhere in there, between 209 to 211. I can't remember the exact miles, but it was up there. I asked for $1,500 down, $3,200 cash. Now, I paid $1,400 for the car. By the time I got out of the auction, I was up to $1,600 in the car. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, right? And that is a 2007 Hyundai Sonata. Now it ran and drove fine, everything worked inside, but you're talking about $1,600. So let's role play it for an example. That same buyer, say for instance, if they go to one of these other subprime lenders or car lot that do deals with like credit acceptance or flagship credit, or some of these finance companies that lend money to individuals with lower credit scores, right? If they go there and they get approved for $1,000 down payment, now you're in competition with cars that are a lot newer with a lot less miles, with people that will go now and pay $600 for a car note, $400, $500, knowing that they can't afford it, but lenders are lending the monies to them. So they're going to be more inclined to go to places like that versus coming to Dealmart Auto Sales when the cars are 1999, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 200,000 miles, even though the car runs fine. Everything works, AC works, all of the windows work. So that is what we're up against right now. And that is why I think COVID-19 is going to pretty much reinvent buy here, pay here for this period of time. I'm not saying that it's permanent. I'm not saying that the current prices are permanent. I don't think they are, right? But how long can you weather the storm in scenarios like that? Now, the Sonata sold today, okay, but it sold for cash, which was a good thing. So it sold for $3,200 cash plus tax. But our messages that we received for the Sonata that talked about the buy here, pay here side was every question, almost every other question, if not every question, was can you do better on the down payment? Is this the least amount down I can pay? Right? So again, understanding your down payment sweet spot is going to give you that ammunition to be able to know what you can put on your lot, buy here, pay here, and how fast it's going to sell. Okay? You have to understand that number in order to go out and buy inventory. I'm going to go to the comments now. All right. Okay, that's question is about that and the unique credit. Okay. All right. So my down payment's at 12, but now I can't do. Okay. All right. This is a good comment here. Blackheart says, You got started this year in March. I actually got started last year in February for my first car lot. This particular car lot, Dealmore Auto Sales, which is the second car lot I opened July of 2019. So I was setting my down payments at $1,200, I'm assuming. But now I can't do that because I'm not really able to find those deals at the auction. Because of that, I'm only keeping 3 to 5 units. Right. So, right. I mean, that you have to take what you can get. And I think that has been my issue as well with trying to buy the inventory. And so we're going to talk about some other things that I'm looking at doing as well. But you're absolutely correct. You're not going to be able to compete like this on the same caliber, right? Finding those deals, because for buy here, pay here, essentially for sure, buy here, pay here, you make your money when you buy that car, because that amount of money that you put in that car ultimately should become your down payment. You really shouldn't have a set down payment because it depends on what you bought the car for. But if you were used to buying a car for the same price, you had a kind of a good consistent number, then yeah, you could do something like what Black Car did, I guess, which was charge $1,200 down on every car. But yeah, that is hard to do. So we have to understand our down payment sweet spots. Okay. So this brings up a question. Is it time to buy more expensive cars to finance them? Should we be working now to level up and go towards outside financing? Is it time to do that? Here's what I believe, and this is just my belief about business in general. You have to be able to adapt in every situation. I'm ex-military, so I served as a 31 Bravo military police. I joined the military when I was a junior in high school, 17 years old. I joined the National Guard. And one of the biggest things I learned about the military is that you have to have discipline and you have to know how to adapt. Situations change like that. So you have to be able to have the temperament to know I have to roll with the punches. If you're committed to your success, you have to adapt and grow with what is going on, right? So that brings up a question of, should we, as buy here, pay here dealers, primarily buy here, pay here dealers, should we now be focusing on buying more expensive cars to finance them out? Or is it time for cash only? What is that solution? So I want y'all to go to the comments right now. If you are not a dealer and you're just listening to this conversation, tell me what you would do. Would you buy more expensive cars to finance them? Or would you now try to get as close as you can to what you were used to paying for your inventory per unit? So if your amount that you pay on average per car was $1,500, if you want to try to stay as close to $1,500 and go to maybe say $2,000 and now sell that car completely cash, right? So $2,995 or $3,200 or $3,300. So tell me what you would do if you're not a dealer. Role play. If you are a dealer, tell me what you think is the best of the two options. Buy more expensive cars to finance them, or to buy as close as you can to where you were and just go strictly cash only. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. Okay. All right. Nick Hoffman says outside financing penalizes the dealer. Okay. Outside financing penalizes the dealer. That is Nick Hoffman perspective. Would go cash only until the market resets itself. Okay, so we got 1-4 cash only. We got 7-8 people watching this. Okay, we got one answer. I need y'all to chime in. Put it in the comments of what you think is the best of the two options. Is it cash only right now, or should we be going towards financing, outside financing the vehicles with a lender that would lend to subprime borrowers, lenders like Credit Acceptance and Flagship? Okay, we never got two answers. All right. Tim in Florida says, I have been going negative on the down payments. The cash sales offset the loss on buy here, pay here. Risky. Very, very risky. I would say, but I did it on the. I was willing to do $100 negative on the Sonata, so I get it. I get it. I still believe in buy here, pay here. Just have to find the cheap inventory. Absolutely, buy here, pay here is always and will always be, I believe, the single best way to run a car lot because of the amount of equity you build in your cash flow. It is so great to have that cash flow consistently. There's nothing like it. That's why lenders lend money, right? The only difference is, for me, I don't charge interest. My notes are so low that it makes no sense to charge interest. You know, $40, $50, really? That's pointless. All right, now we got two answers on which one should we do. We got Nick Hoffman and Tim in Florida. We got a couple more people watching this. Go ahead and put it in the comments right now if you think we should move towards outside financing or if we should move towards cash only. And then I'm going to give you my answer. Okay? That is the plan on this section. But I agree with Tim in Florida that I agree that, you know, still believing in buy here, pay here. You can't really beat buy here, pay here, man. Even in this time right now, my notes are very important. And also, if you don't pay your notes, I'm repossessing your car. We've had a couple repossessions that actually was able to be sold as, you know, another deal. So it is important. We have another answer from Blackheart 380. Blackheart 380 says, I say no, because strive to fix folks and not rip them off or put them in a car I know they can't afford. I just spend more time and my due diligence to find great deals. Reason I don't have many units, right? There you go. So he's actually taking his time to find the better units. All right, so my answer is you have to do a combination of both. I think that at least here's what my plan is, okay? My plan is to try to do an outside deal and see how it goes. I have yet at my car lot to do an outside finance deal. And I truly believe in my heart that in order for us to really know something, we have to kind of explore that opportunity in a personal relationship with it, especially like with business, right? So I cannot tell you guys on this channel today that I have successfully financed a car outside financing. I can't say that. And that is good and bad, right? It just depends. So what my plan is to do is to forge a relationship with one or two subprime lenders and just do one car. I want to see how it goes. You know, we hear so many negative stories about outside financing. We hear from so many different perspectives. And so until you have went through it, you really are just taking someone's opinion, whether biased or flawed that opinion is. You don't really know from action, from actually doing it. So I think that you really have to be open to having a combination of both. Now, I do think that cash only is a great option. But it just depends on your market, right? Every market has a different amount of different demographics and a different medium household income, and all of that stuff factor in. But that's what I will be doing. I will be doing a combination of both. And I will be so happy to report back to you guys what my experience was with the lender of my choice. So let's talk about some of the negatives on the financing side, the outside financing side. Let's talk about that. Okay. Got another comment in here. I have looked into it on subprime lenders. Go to do due diligence with them as well. Absolutely. You have to do your due diligence with every single thing you do, right? You never wake up and say, this is what we're going to do and don't have any information on it, right? You have to do your due diligence. Absolutely. So we're going to talk about some of the negatives of using an outside finance companies that I know of. And then you guys can chime in, and then I'll put them up on the screen, and whoever watched this on a playback, if you're considering outside financing for your used car lot, maybe you'll see some of these negatives, and and it caused you to maybe not do it, or at least have somewhat of a mindset of what you're getting yourself into. So the number one thing for me that's a con is the potential recourse of the loan, right? What that is essentially the deal can be unwind in a sense, right? They give you a probation period pretty much when you finance the car outside. And that period of time, I think it grows depending on your relationship with that lender. The more deals you do with that lender, the more comfortable that lender is going to be with your deals, right? With your cars, with your type of demographics, because everything is learned behavior. The more you do something, the better you get at it, right? And so the same sense with the lender, the more they lend customers money for your inventory, they're going to learn, okay, well, what is the default rate of these customers from this car lot? And then that's going to dictate a lot of the way that lender interacts with you and a lot of the rules and regulations that they put on your company. So the first thing is the recourse, right? It could be 90 days, it could be 60 days. And basically what they're saying is if that borrower defaults within that period of time or something of that nature, they can unwind the deal, meaning you got to send them their money back and you get the car back, right? That's an extreme version. Some of them, what they'll do is they'll offset the next couple deals or something like that. So, but the recourse, the financing recourse from a dealer that the dealer has from the lender is there, right? So the terms of that recourse, the terms of that period of time depends on the lender. So if you're considering outside financing, understand that you need to make sure you ask that lender, hey, if the borrower defaults within a certain period of time, do I have any recourse? Am I going to get penalized as the dealer? Now, it is up to the lender to decide whether or not they're going to lend the money to the borrower. So really, in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, you have an underwriting department. Y'all should have caught whatever the issues were. It's not my job to play your lender, your underwriter. My job is to get inventory on my lot, make sure that the deal has been represented properly, and that the valuations are there, right? So anyway, get clear on the recourse if you're going to do outside finance. That's the first con that I have. Second con I have is the limitations on the type of vehicles that they will lend on. Lenders have their own score sheet of how they value your vehicles on your lot. So just because you see that the NADA or the KBB, whatever book, wherever part of the country you are, you guys have your own book that you guys base your valuations off of. Here in Georgia and the Southeast, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, South and North Carolina, and other parts of the country, we typically use NADA. So NADA is our valuation book that says what a vehicle is worth. Now, outside of that, there are different factors that the lender imposes on whether or not your vehicle, whether or not they're going to lend you up to a certain amount of the NADA value. So if you're thinking about doing outside financing, you really got to get a good valuation system that will give you the value of the loan amount, because they have a whole different category called loan on the NADA book. And so you have to understand what you're buying and how close you're getting to that, making sure your profits are built into whatever you buy. So if the loan value on the vehicle is $5,000 and you want to make $1,000 on every deal, you really shouldn't go over $3,500 because you need to leave room there, right? So you have to understand that. So the difference with buy here, pay here is my price. Either you come in and you pay the DP, I finance you with my own money, or you don't, right? That's the beauty of doing buy here, pay here, opposite of outside financing. The only caveat with doing buy here, pay here versus financing is that your DPs are a lot, the value proposition of your DP is what matters when you're trying to compare buy here, pay here to outside financing, right? As far as the impact to the consumer. If you have $1,000, right? Should I pay $1,000 for a 2012, or should I pay $1,000 for a 1995 or 1999, right? So that value proposition is almost like a football field away. So that is the impact, the mindset of the consumer. So that is how the outside financing is going to help you be able to leverage that value proposition, because now I can get a 2012, 13, 14 and get somebody in it that has decent credit for $1,000, right? So it gives you more leverage, but it comes with this cons. It comes with its cons, and that's what we're talking about. All right, so buyer, the dealer recourse, number one. Number two, the valuations. So you're not in control of that. You have to really understand your finance company. You have to really understand what it is that they require. And sometimes they go as far as to look at the actual borrower, right? Because the borrower makes up pretty much the deal. The deal is you have two factors when you're looking at outside financing deals, right? You have the car and you have the borrower, right? That borrower dictates what we're going to do with this car. How we're going to value the car, what type of terms, all of that. So that is another con, is the valuation of it all. Okay. I'm going to go to the comments now. All right. Currently, me too, Nick. Love aiming to get one more tomorrow. Okay. I think they're talking about, okay, I only have 3 units now. There you go. I only have one now because we sold one a day. So they're talking about the amount of inventory. So those are the two cons that I have on the outside financing. So let's talk about the cash only, right? Cash only has a lot more cons, in my opinion. Well, probably not a lot more. Maybe just one big one, which is not having the money. You have to know what your median household income is and kind of know what people, carry in their bank accounts in order to really find a good fit for price point wise. Because if they don't have the money in the bank, they can't pay it to you, right? Basically. But the beautiful part about cash deals is that it's a clean transaction. I have a friend that all he does is pretty much cash deals. He doesn't do. There he goes right there. Just talking about it. MJ says cash only, cash and carry, cash only. And I was just thinking about you, man. Deal is done. Deal is done. When you do the cash, the deal is done. You name your price, they pay your price, and it's over. Okay. So that is a beautiful transaction to do. The only thing is you just have to know your values and know that the prices that you are coming up with are in line with what people are doing in your area, right? And so, yeah, that's pretty much it on cash. I mean, cash is easy. It's easy as long as you're pricing them right and people got the money to pay for it. Okay. So what are your thoughts? What do you guys now? I think let's see how many of you guys here are buy here, pay here. All right. Nick, are you buy here, pay here? Let me know. Blackheart, are you buy here, pay here? Tim in Florida already told me he does a combination of both. All right. Jacob Dykes, I missed your question. I'm going to come back to your question, Jacob, if you're still here. I wanted to kind of stay on topic for the first part of the thingy here. MJ says, buy here, pay here. You are married to the customer. Yeah, you are. You are married to the customer until you repossess their car or they pay it off, one or the other. But again, buy here, pay here, man. It is really good on Fridays when it's good. When it's good on Fridays, it's good. That's all I'm gonna say. And then when it's bad, it's bad. We had a repossession. We had a repossession that's going out today. It happens. Hopefully we get that car sold too ASAP. Tim in Florida, I wish I could sell every car buy here, pay here. Absolutely. I mean, it's so crazy that there's so many different perspectives. And I think that you have to do what works best for you. But what really made me fall in love with buy here, pay here is how fast I used to be able to sell my cars when I could get them for the price. when you can get a car for $500 and $600 and that car runs decently well, and if the AC works and all of the windows work, and you get it for $500 or $600, that is the best payday ever. You're talking about profit, you know. So, but we can't do that anymore with COVID, you know. Also, you guys tell me what has been, you know, what has been your average price per unit right now in the midst of COVID-19. My average has been up there. It's been about all out with all of the fees. My average has been about $1,500, which is considerably higher than what I want to pay. Like, it's 3 times higher, because I literally like to try to get them $500, $600, $700. So when I go from $500 to $600 to $1,500, that's a big gap, right? It's a big gap. Buy here, pay here in cash if they got it. However, my focus is to build up them payments. Absolutely. That has been my focus for a long time. And it should be your focus, because residual income, and again, I wouldn't even call it residual income. Only thing we're doing with buy here, pay here is delaying the profit, right? You're taking that profit that you would get on a cash deal and delaying it out. And you have this flooring amount, right, that you're using, that you're constantly circulating. If that's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in inventory, you're just basically recycling that money every week, or, you know, basically every car you're switching it, right? You're recycling it. So yeah, focusing on building up your payments is awesome. So Blackheart, you've already told me that your struggle is inventory, which is, I guess, everybody's struggle that's trying to do buy here, pay here, because the deals are just, you know, very few and far in between. All right, Blackheart says, I agree. 15 to 17 is my average price at the auctions right now, which is absolutely, yeah. Tim in Florida, let me put it up on the screen. So yeah, that's about right on where I am as well. Tim in Florida says, only buy cars under 1,000, but it's tough to find them. I've been buying 15-year-old Hyundai Elantras 5-speed for $600. There you go. That's, I mean, I would take a stab at it. That 5-speed is scary. 5 speeds are scary, man. The biggest thing about manuals, and you can tell me, Tim, if you guys have this problem at your lot, everybody look at the pictures, right? They look at the pictures, they come out and they say, oh, it's a manual. There's a picture of the dang on gear shifter right here. You pretty much got to put on the front, this is a manual, right? But that is the problem that we have. And so I typically try to stay away from manuals now. But you know, desperate times calls for desperate measures. So we all have to do the best we can to try to stay in the game. All right. So I'm going to type in a question here. All right, I want to know, what is your action plan? What are you planning to do? I've told you what my action plan is. My action plan is accordingly. Number one, I'm going to get linked up with 2 finance companies, subprime lenders, and I'm going to do 1 successful outside financing deal before the end of this year. The second thing I'm going to do is just keep at it, you know, keep going to the auctions locally. I'm not driving the hundreds and hundreds of miles. Everything I'm doing now is local and non-stressful when it comes to auctions, because the prices are just so far out there that if I drive 3 hours, 4 hours to Albany, Georgia from Atlanta, and I don't buy a car, I may just close my damn business. I don't know. So you get the point. Blackheart, this is going back to the standard shift, the 5-speed. Blackheart says, I'll grab a 5-speed if it's a Mustang or high demand sports car only. I don't think the prices are going to come down until after the election. Okay. I'm finding some deals on Facebook Marketplace, but that takes so much time. Oh my God. I pretty much just gave that up. Facebook Marketplace, I just gave it up. Especially for me, because my situation is probably a lot different from you guys' situation. I live 110 miles away from my car lot, right? So it's a lot of things that I'm limited from doing that you guys probably could do, and it would work. For an example, if I lived in Phoenix City or Columbus, I could actually probably, try my hand more at doing the Facebook Marketplace because it's not consequential. I have a sales manager that runs a lot, so if I did tinker around with 3 or 4 Facebook Marketplaces a day, listings a day, and I may come up with one of those 4 or 5, and then I can just go and pick it up and drive it to the lot locally, then that works. But when you have to deal with, and then they all lie, and so you drive 5 different places and they all told you the car was running, and when you get there, it looks like the damn thing rolled over 7 times and nothing works. It's just, so much. That's good, Nick, that you are actually committed to doing that, because that really shows your dedication in making sure that you have inventory on your lot. And I think that's what it takes. It takes dedication in this time, because this time is like none other that I've seen since I've been in the business, right? So I'm seeing prices. Man, I should have got my list out of my truck to tell y'all the prices at the auction this yesterday. A 1998 Jeep Cherokee, the Cherokee, not the Grand Cherokees. This is before. It was lifted. I think that thing sold for $3,200 or $3,300. It drove okay. Didn't have any coolant, antifreeze, or coolant in the radiator. And it's over $3,200. And then I literally counted from last night's auction. I want to say I can count on one hand how many cars sold for under $1,000. And that is scary because a lot of the cars were not in the best shape. And so for this particular auction, that shows me that those values are not where they need to be yet. So I won't be going back there for a couple weeks, but I will. This is actually Atlanta East Auto Auction, and there's a buddy that I met there. He does YouTube. A lot of you guys probably are subscribed to his channel, We Hustle Daily. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking at We Hustle Daily's channel and seeing if those prices are coming down over there. If they are, then I'll go back. Until then, I'm not going over there. It's a public auction, and so the public auctions are very challenging right now. Very, very challenging because those dealers that are sending their inventory there, they know that it's a public auction, obviously. And so a lot of the inventory is catered and geared towards the public. But here's the key. Here's the catch. I would say 95% of the participants at that auction last night were dealers. So, yeah. Tim in Florida says his action plan is to keep at it, keep hustling, and be the last man standing. That's what I'm talking about. I think we just got that. That's it. I couldn't have said it any better. That is absolutely what all of us have to do. Tim also said he saw a 1998 G300 go for $4,000 plus buyer fees tonight. And this is Florida. Like MJ has dibbled and dabbled. If he's still on here, you can maybe tell us about your experience in Florida. But from my understanding, the prices down there are supposed to be a lot cheaper than Georgia. So until those prices come down there, then I don't think they're going to come down much here. There are 2 auctions in Georgia where the prices are on the down slope. You guys got to like and comment after I post a video, and I'll tell you which 2 auctions that is. So I'll do that. But there are 2 auctions in the Atlanta metropolitan area where the prices are down, or going down. They're not down, but they're going down. So if you want to know what those two auctions are, comment after we get off this live, which will be here very soon. Like the video, and then I will post that there. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's been exciting, and I think we're gonna end it on Tim in Florida. His message here. I think we all should adapt this. His action plan is to keep at it, keep hustling, and be the last man standing. That is it. That's all we can do. We can't fold. We can't take our tails and run. There will be a time when we will look back at this period and say, my, how did we make it through? Some of us will be able to attribute our making it through to buy here, pay here, right? Paying the rent, paying a salary, right? Paying yourself. I don't know. But when you got $40,000, $50,000 in receivables, that's a lot more stability than somebody that's flipping a car, once or twice or three times a month. It gives you that security. And so that is why I've advocated buy here, pay here on this channel. And that's why I've shared my experiences with you guys in what I've done with buy here, pay here. But this time that we're in, buy here, pay here is being destroyed because the prices are too high. So if you are watching this video and you are about to get into the used car business, I'm not gonna say don't do buy here, pay here. If you can do it, do it. Obviously, if you can buy cheap cars under $1,000 and you're not in an emission state, then yes, you're gonna be awesome. Do buy here, pay here. If you're in the emission states, hang it up. Hang it up. Don't do buy here, pay here. Focus on doing those quick cash flips. Build up that profit. Slow turn and burn. Keep going. Keep hustling. And be the last man standing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in tonight. To each and every one of you, you guys be safe. Make sure you take the coronavirus serious. Also, my prayers are with all of those affected in the Gulf of Mexico right now with the Hurricane Sally and all of that's going on. So if you know somebody down there, call in and check up on them, make sure they're okay. And I will see you guys next week for another live episode with Grind Reloaded. Until next time, take care.